Modular math is brand new to Metro Community College, and we developed it as a result of the Higher Learning Commission, that they suggested that we have a modular program. So it was designed basically to help developmental students progress faster. So it consists of our basic college math and beginning algebra and intermediate algebra. And the students take a test, the compass test or a placement test, just as usual. And wherever they place is where they start in this program. And they take a pretest, and if they get proficiency or score proficiently on the pretest, then they can skip that whole chapter and they go on to the next chapter and take a pretest, and so on down the line. However, if they do not reach mastery or proficiency, then they do homework and they take quizzes and tests along the way, and every time they have to make what we call mastery is 80%. We have an even newer program called contextualized math. After they do kind of a general study of, say, fractions, decimals, or whatever, then it goes into the specific trade, whether it's electricity or construction, whatever the trade is, and then it zeroes in on those particular type of math problems. There are several people that I met along the way in my education and career path. I would start with my advisor at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. His name was Dr. Fitzke. He was just a wonderful professor and very personable, and showed that he cared a lot about his students. I remember being in the student union one day and him coming by and specifically saying, did you have a bad day? You usually do better on those quizzes. And so that said a lot to me, and that when I became an instructor, I wanted to be personal, that I wanted to really care about my students, because I felt like he cared about me as an individual. And then when I was a new teacher, a beginning teacher, there was a veteran teacher. His name was Jim Temple. I remember him in Minnesota. I was teaching in the St. Paul systems in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I asked him, what is the secret to success? And he said, you gotta love your students. I love them to death. was what his answer was. And I feel that essentially what that means is you accept them as they are, and know that everybody's a little different. It doesn't mean they're wrong. They might be different. They might learn differently. They might approach problems with a little different logic, but it's all right. We all think differently. Our brains are wired differently, and as long as what they're doing is logical, I like to accept the differences in people, and I feel I learned that from Mr. Temple. And then as I continued on and became an adjunct at Metropolitan Community College, a mentor I had here was Michael Flesch. He is just so desiring to help people and see them have opportunities, and he is an extremely dedicated educator and loves education. And Mary Pernicki, who teaches here, was also a mentor. She probably doesn't know that she was, but I observed how she worked with her students and how much they enjoyed her classes and her personality. And I just thought, yeah, I really want to be a full-time professor as she is and have those opportunities. I really felt drawn to Metropolitan Community College because there's such an atmosphere here of sincerity and wanting to succeed, and the college has the atmosphere, the aura of really wanting to help people, help students advance in their careers and to give them opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise. Is such a pleasant place to work. And the faculty, I find the faculty members are very supportive. It's family. I mean, I just feel like the staff is family, and the atmosphere, the facilities are lovely. They're kept up well. It's just a very pleasant environment. So I was very drawn here, and yeah, I just felt like that was my goal, to teach. And the reason I stay here is the same thing. I love it here. I love it here. I love the people. I love the students, the facilities. I love teaching, and I'm like, what else would I do with my life, the rest of my life, that I could enjoy more? I just think this is where it is. Technology has changed education an extreme amount, and I personally love it. I think the changes are very, very positive. The online education, for example, with the tutorial software, they get immediate feedback, and now we're getting more into conferencing with these students online. Well, you never used to be able to do that. I mean, just the fact that you can even make an explanation to a problem a student is having and send them a file. That's phenomenal that they can get that and hear from their professor. But I am also researching how to do more of a live conference where there's give and take, and I can ask them questions. So I'm working on that, looking for the right product. Of course, there are a lot of apps out there that do many, many things. It's just totally changed education. Even in the classroom, the fact that we can use software to prepare lessons. You can put graphs and notes have it all ready so that you don't have to stand and write it on the board all the time. Saves a lot of time. You can give more attention to the students and the problems that they have. And of course, the new technology classrooms that we have here at Metro are phenomenal. The Apple TVs and having a whole set of iPads in the room. I have a lot of plans for next year to use those iPads to not only to use our tutorial software, but to do the learning catalytics where they can respond. Big thing I want students to take away from my classes is that math can be fun. I really want them to enjoy studying it. I want them to see the value. I want it to open doors for them, not only in careers, but everyday living. Being able to balance their checkbook and figure how much carpet they need or how much paint they need when they go, so they can figure the area of their walls and figure out how much paint they need to buy. I just think that math is essential to everyday living, and a lot of their professions require math, and so I want them to feel good about it. I want them to get over being afraid of it if they've been afraid of it. I just want them to enjoy it. My greatest challenge is having enough time to do all the things that I would love to do and that I feel need to be done. So, for example, I would like to be able to help more students on an individual basis. I would love for them to be able to come in and work with them one-on-one. However, when you have 100 students, you really kind of have to be limiting of how much time. And of course, it's not to say they would all be willing to come in a lot, but to me, the biggest challenge of my job is having time to get everything done. And a lot of that is because I want to do a lot of things. I'm interested in a lot of things. So I tend to become involved in many interesting projects. Right now I'm on a couple of committees. We just developed a refresher math course that students can go to at our Math Center website. And then I've mentioned a couple of other committees that I'm on, the technology classroom, the online modular course. There's a non-credit committee that I've just been partially involved with. Anyway, there's just so many good things going on. That's the challenge. You have to limit yourself. I have to sit on my hands so I won't raise it and volunteer again. The best advice that I could give students or anyone is that you have a goal, but that you be open to changes. For example, it's not always about our will, but I would seek in my case, I seek the will of the Lord, and He knows best. He knows what's best for me and what direction I should go. And so if I start in a direction and He changes it, I know that it's His will and that that's really the best way. This is Marcia Vergo at Metropolitan Community College, math instructor and modular and math center coordinator.